The character I play is Queen Elizabeth I of England, and she is incredibly intelligent, she is witty, she's very assured, she's independent, she's fierce. The conflicts in the play, she's constantly facing threats to her crown. Her biggest rival in the play is Queen Mary of Scots, which brings us on to another conflict, which is her jealousy, good old-fashioned jealousy of a woman who is younger and more attractive than she is. She is having to rule a country of men who basically don't believe that a woman can possibly be a reasoning power. And she also has an inner conflict, which is her love for a man who she knows, if she marries, will diminish her power and ultimately lose her crown. Key themes of the play would be, I think, manipulation is very much a key theme. Everybody in this play is trying to manipulate everybody else to further their own ends. And this affects Elizabeth in that I would say Elizabeth is the master of manipulation. In many scenes in the play you see she uses her pedigree, she uses her feminine wiles, she uses her guile, she uses her sometimes quite fierce, regal autocracy to get her own way. I would say she's way up there, top of the league when it comes to manipulation. Other themes, well, there is religion, obviously is a big theme of the play. In terms of Elizabeth within the play, obviously she is a Protestant and she's very devoted to the new faith, but she has more tolerance and moderation in that she can stand back from that fanatical belief and actually use it as a tool, which she does very well in the scene with Henry Darnley, when she uses him as a pawn to send, she wants him to marry the Queen of Scots, and she uses his Catholicism to gain that. Jealousy, as I mentioned before, I think is a big theme, certainly for Elizabeth, having to deal with the jealousy of a younger, prettier woman. And another theme which I think is very strong for the two queens is heart versus head. And actually that's probably the biggest contrast between the two queens. Ultimately, that Mary allows her emotions to play and Elizabeth doesn't. In a lot of the play, we see how clever she is, how politically astute she is, how well she manages her own emotions and manages the people around her. She's brilliant at it. And I think what's great about this particular scene, we find Elizabeth having just been given the news that Mary has had a child. Not only has she had a child, but she's had a son. And it's a really clear insight into the woman. And we don't often get to see that. And actually it's tragic, it's heartbreaking, because she's done so well to hold back her emotions and be politically clear-minded about the way her life is moving. And it's just a little moment where she sees this other woman happy, and it just makes her analyse in a very bitter way her own life. Yes. The Scots language is incredibly challenging for me because not only do I play Elizabeth, but I also play Bessie, who is Mary Queen of Scots' maid. I also play Lizzie, who's a wee tarty girl, and I play wee Betty, a wee Scots girl in a playground. So I have to use the Scots language quite a lot, and it's very alien to me in terms of speaking. I find that my getting my mouth to make the right shapes for it it's like doing tongue twisters for me. I do find it very, very difficult. My fellow cast members are helping me and supporting me and laughing at me. So, you know, it's fine. I'm getting there. Eventually, I think I'll be okay. What it adds to the play, I mean, it's beautiful. When it's coming out of the right mouth, I listen to Annie as Corby, and it's so rich, it adds so much poetry. But also, importantly, what I think it does is it provides a stark contrast between two countries and makes that very, very clear that we're talking about two separate types of people